कृष्णा के मन में कृष्णा के मन में बहती राधा के प्रेम की गंगा सोने की है ये
माँ कसम धोनी तू तो पैदाइशी किस्मत वाला है।
Hello and a very warm welcome to all those who are tuning into this particular broadcast on News 9 Live. I'm Krishna Kumar and we here at News 9 Live have a very special guest lined up for you, and that is none other than Telugu actor, star, Mr. Nani. Nani, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on News 9 Live. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nani's movie Dasara is up for release this weekend. We're going to be talking about that and lots more with Nani. Nani, I'm going to begin by asking about what's behind us. This rugged turn of yours that's being spoken of in comparison with Allu Arjun's Pushpa and other things, amongst other things. Talk to us about Dasara as a project for you, a pan-India project. You've done the first unofficial pan-India in 2011 with Makhi, which was Ega, which became Makhi in Hindi. Talk to us about Dasara and now gearing up for this pan-India film.
Dasara is a very rooted film based in Telangana coal mines area, and something which excited all of us so much that we decided that this story has to be told to across the border, across the languages, and because the emotion of it is so basic and so strong and so impactful. We really felt that this film doesn't have any, shouldn't have any of those limitations, because it is very strong at its heart, and I think we all, whatever, no matter what, I think there are a few basic emotions we always relate to. We are all, end of the day, Indians, and there are certain emotions we will really connect to, and I think Dasara banks on those emotions and done so well. I think it's just a day to go, so you'll watch it.
Yeah. We're all eagerly awaiting the film to hit the silver screens. At this point, Nani, Telugu film industry is now the toast of India. You've seen what RRR has done at the Oscars, and Bahubali, RRR. It's happening for the Telugu film industry. Every Telugu film is right now looking to go pan-India, etc., etc. But long back, with the same Rajamouli, you featuring you. There was a film called Ega in Telugu. It was called E in Tamil. It was called Icha in Malayalam and Makhi in Hindi. That went pan-India. When you look at that and you look at what's happening right now, how do you view this entire transformation?
Oh, we're very extremely happy and very proud of what Rajamouli sir and team has pulled off. But not really every film is trying to go pan-India or anything like that. It also depends. Now, for example, I came with this. I might not come with every film. Release. It also depends on the script, on the film, and a lot of things. But this recent film, when audience across the country have shown so much of love and appreciation for these last 2 years, for different films, then it kind of boosts your confidence, and it kind of makes you think, why not? And so this film definitely, it all depends on each film to film, and what's happening is, I think it's amazing that across the country, the verdict is clear that all you need to do is don't try to really cater to
just make
people,
a good film.
Just make a great film, and we will watch it. So I think it's a good thing.
So Dasara is that great film that you're coming out with for the audience. The confidence with the script, I'm guessing, is the reason why you thinking that this should be watched by audiences across the country. You don't do it every single time.
Right.
You had a film like Shyam Singh Roy, again a big production. It wasn't. It's a with a musical. A historical musical traverses West Bengal. A film like Shyam Singh Roy. Eventually became pan-India by the time it hit OTT. Correct. That's when it went in Hindi. Until then, it was a Telugu film dubbed into other South Indian languages.
Correct. Yeah. So much love I get for Shyam Singh Roy across the languages. And sometimes you no, I feel we should have maybe released it also, but anyway, I think that was all warm up, that was all building towards something, and I think that is Dasara.
All right, this is the real deal. Dasara is the real deal, is the point that he's making. Nani, you know, I have so many friends who are such big fans of you. You know, they keep asking the same thing. You know, you were somebody who statedly wanted to become a director when you began your career. You know, and in fact, you began as a clap director in your first movie. Are there any chances now that you've done, you know, the whole 9 years, now you're out with your pan-India film, can we expect your next step to be into direction?
I'm right now enjoying it so much that I don't want to break it for anything, and yeah, for now all those ideas are like kept aside. No, absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. That we got a really quick, short answer on that. Not really. He's happy doing his movies. Talk to us about, you know, now these fans also ask, you know, has Nani now reached a stage in his career where scripts are tailor-made for him? You know, because Dasara looks like a proper pan-India vehicle designed for somebody like you.
Then it is a good happy coincidence, it's a happy accident, but I don't think it worked like that. Srikanth never had anyone in the mind when he wrote the script, and when after he was ready with the script and once he wanted to, you know, make that film, go pitch it to the actors, that's when he thought of me, and that's how he came to me. So yeah, it was not designed for me, but I think eventually some great films and great scripts find their actor. Yeah.
And they find a great actor like you.
that you have to watch the film and tell me if I made justice to it. But I think it's a great, great story. I feel extremely blessed to, you know, that it found me. Yeah.
It found you. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Talk to us then your thought process while choosing a script or a movie these days, because the options are aplenty. You can do a really rooted Telugu film that is made only in Telugu, you know, or you can go for a script that is, you know, pan-India. Now Telugu is going pan-world. You know, now that barrier is broken.
Indian cinema is going pan-world now.
Yeah. Telugu cinema from India is going pan-world. I mean, because I'm just talking with respect to Oscars. There is so many other cinema that's happening. Just keeping it with the news, so to speak, with Natu Natu, so to speak. Let's talk about Natu Natu. You know, can you tell us some experience of working with Rajamouli sir? Because, you know, so much of everybody's asking how is he able to do this again and again and again. And when he was working on a film like Iga, the budgets were much smaller compared to the kind of budgets he's working with right now. So what was it like being with Rajamouli sir?
Rajamouli sir, I think it is very simple. Of the, you know, film and all that, they're very close to me. They're all like family. But in general, I think now I know the world has discovered him now or last few years. But I think a Telugu audience always saw that Rajamouli sir is, you know, capable of much bigger things. And thing is, I feel working with him, what I have realized is what all her understanding, all her ambitions, all her, you know, what we want has some limitation. We start thinking with, this is possible, so I want to achieve this. This is not possible, so we don't even think about what is not possible, right? Rajamouli sir is the only one who
dreams the impossible, so to speak.
Who doesn't know the difference between possible and impossible. So that is why he ends up doing impossible things. Yeah.
He can't tell the difference between...
No, he's that child who doesn't understand. If you say this is not, he doesn't understand it. And then he goes for it and he gets it, he achieves it, yeah.
All right, talking about doing the impossible, Nani, you've technically done the impossible in the Telugu film industry, is what they say. You know, if I may say this, a pakka outsider who's made it big in this industry, survived this industry for so many years. And making it one hit is okay, but surviving it and keeping the momentum going on is nothing but the impossible. Talk to us about that. I mean, now there is so much talk of, you know, inside, outside, nepotism, etc., and there's OTT, digital, etc., etc. When you were doing it, there was none of this.
Correct. So it was, it was very difficult, very different times from now. Now you have, you know
social media,
multiple ways to, you know, make that mark. But at that time, it was just the films and your performance have to make a mark, and you just have to be at it, and it was much more complicated. But it was challenging. But it's end of the day now. If I'm really, without that I wouldn't have been here, and without all of that I wouldn't have learned what I've learned, and without all of that I wouldn't be this. You wouldn't get that high of, you know, being here. You wouldn't feel it if you didn't go through that whole process. So it's all good, basically.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good,
Yeah.
especially when you have a movie like Dasara. The promos look absolutely fantastic. But then, as they say, the proof of the pudding lies in the movie halls on Friday. So we're all
Correct.
eagerly awaiting awaiting Dasara as we speak. You're talking about you and talking about you as the person. You know, you're a dad to a 6-year-old as well. You know, you've been through the pandemic with a young child. You're out of it. You're out of the big release, and you've been out of quite a few big releases. You know, right through the pandemic. You're one of the people to release so many films as the world was just coming out of the pandemic, not even fully. So talk to us about how it has been for Nani all these last 2-3 years.
I think, yeah, it was scary to see, in general, to see people suffer, and there was so much of sadness around, and there was so much of confusion around, and there's so much of false news or the WhatsApp post that this and all. Everybody was confused what to do, what is going to happen, where is it going, But now I think it's like, see, that history has proved it again and again and again and again. No matter what comes our way, there will all if we all stick together, it will end sometime soon. And at that time I think it also affected obviously the films, the releases, the day, all of that. And for me it didn't feel like a big problem at all, because when I am seeing what's the whole world is going through, my films just suddenly not stopping, or not getting theaters to release, theaters are closed, or the fact that it was coming on OTT. I had a couple of direct to the OTT releases because theaters were shut.
Yes.
At that time.
Gang Leader
I
was
didn't
direct
feel
to
that
OTT
was,
release.
not Tak Jagdish and We.
Tak Jagdish, yes.
Yeah, so I didn't feel that was like a big problem that we suffered anything like that, because like looking around, I thought I was more feeling sad about a lot of other things around. But
I'm saying that, being a father and your growth as a person has also changed the way you choose movies. Or is it are you doing now? For example, is your are you looking at will my kid like this movie?
That definitely I am looking at it that way. But not now. He doesn't have the understanding. I don't think he's allowed to even watch this. But I know he'll watch my films years later, and I want him to be proud of the work I do or I did. That is there, but I think that there's a certain responsibility I feel towards making films, which I have always felt, not just after after Juno is born, but I think I always did feel that certain thing. Now there will be this conscious thought also now that happens parallelly, but it's all in the same direction.
Wonderful. Talking about today's day and age, about OTT and etc. etc. You've had direct OTT films. What about a direct OTT project? We've seen
like a show, like a series, or
like
something?
whatever you feel like, Nani, like whatever you feel like doing. You've done everything. You've been an RJ once in your life.
Yeah.
You've done everything. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a man who's done so many things before becoming an actor.
I'm sure I'll try something someday, but not anytime soon. It's just films for now.
So you love the big screen so much that
yes, I'm a complete big screen guy. So.
And you are somebody who got into films because Mani Ratnam was is a huge inspiration for you, from what I understand, growing up.
Yeah, Mani sir is huge inspiration for me to get into filmmaking side, or for me to join as an assistant director, for me to wanting to make films and imagining and trying to understand how the films are made. Mani sir was the biggest inspiration.
And now Mani sir is making the biggest project in his life, which is PS2, which is going to release Ponniyin Selvan Part 2, which is going to release, when you look at that, when you've seen Mani Ratnam films from the 80s and the 90s growing up, Mauna Ragam, Magdi Nakshatram, Nayagan, so many of them, grew up watching. Now when you see him do Ponniyin Selvan 2, how do you see it? How does, as a fan?
Mani sir is always, now, I think some director tries out something, we can say, hey, he's doing something amazing. Mani sir, I think, from the beginning, he always jumped genres, like from an Anjali to a Dalapati to a Geetanjali. Nani sir never repeated himself, and then he used to do one best film in that genre, and then that's it. So I think now, even till today, we are unable to crack a love story which is like Alai Poide, which is like Sakhi. So he's just sets benchmarks, and then he just leaves from there. Yeah, so I am very happy that Mani sir is telling a story like Ponniyin Selvan, which is something very hard to hand, very a huge setup with so many actors and all that, and he pulled off so well, obviously, and then there's second part coming, and I wish all the best to Mani sir and his cast and crew.
All right. The only thing I want to ask you, Nani, at this stage is this: what keeps you going right now as an actor? What are the goals that you have right now? Because now it's carte blanche for actors, right? You don't have to do one particular kind of movie. You yourself are doing movies that are away from the usual, the way Telugu films, work. You're doing scripts that are offbeat scripts. You've carved a niche for yourself, so to speak. Again, doing the impossible, if I may, with the Telugu industry. What is your motivation now from here on? What is the kind of movies that you're looking to do, really?
There's nothing, no set things I want to do, or I'm not really looking at saying I want to do this. I don't want to repeat myself. Once I'm done with the genre, I don't want to come back to that genre anytime soon. And I want to do things which excite me, and I believe, because what excites me will excite the audience also.
Right, and with that, I'm afraid we've run out of time here on this particular News 9 Live. Nani, thank you so much for being with us here on News 9 and sharing your thoughts and your views. And here's wishing you all the best with Dasara. Ladies and gentlemen, Dasara is going to be out this Friday on the 30th of March. Make sure you catch it only in the movie halls, because that's where Nani likes to be. And with that, it's a wrap here on this edition of News 9 Live. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.